Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the opening bell. I'm Ashley Reeve here, guys, and it's good to be with you. Another trading week. It is the 16th of February. We are more or less in the midway part or mark of the month. We want to get started with today's session. Very interesting, man. What's happening this week and the start to it. But before we get into that, remember, guys, we will be, discussing some information here. And while it's video and opinion, we'd like for you to please not construe this as advice in any way. All right. All right. So let's get started then with, today's session here, guys. I think what's going to be very important for us is to know that the global markets are quiet, at least at the start of the week. And the reason for that is we're seeing that the U.S. Markets are closed due to President's Day. China is closed for the Lunar New Year. So this means that there's lower trading activity and slower price moves. So please expect that in the beginning of the week already. All right, so, just make sure that you are in for that. What's also important for us to note. Let me just see here. Jules, good morning to you. Is everything all right? Everything all right? It should be okay. All right. So, with regards to the lower trading activity and the slower price moves due to those public holidays, we're seeing this quite a bit of, well, a flat market, if I can put it that way, in the beginning of the week. We're seeing silver has actually dropped or fell over 1% to around $76. Now, why that happened, guys? We saw traders took a lot of profits after last week's strong rally. Let me actually get that silver chart on here for you so you can see. And so U.S. inflation came in lower than expected, increasing expectations that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates. The markets now expect a rate cut in June or July, and China markets are closed. So Chinese traders were recently driving strong speculative buying. All right, so because it's closed for this week here, it's going to be interesting one to see what the technicalities prove. So the impact really is low inflation supports silver long term. Rate cuts are positive for metals. You can see today just by itself. Look at that. There's nothing happening in silver today. It's really just opening really, really flat and consolidated. Gold exactly the same, dropped more than 1%, around to 4,900. Investors also took their profits after recent gains. But important to note, guys, we have been seeing nothing really happen here with the gold price, apart from it really being bullish overall. We saw that this was the NFP, and we had seen price now correct up for the CPI. So we're still expecting the dollar to strengthen a little bit, because we have the overall bullish movement here on gold, but there's been no real correction or counter trend move to the downside. So hence I'm saying to you, we still expect price to come down a little bit, and that is really, really, really not something that we want to see if you are holding gold long term. If the dollar does strengthen here, and that obviously impacts the Euro USD as well. We are seeing that price actually failed to push or to continue to the upside here. Looks like the dollar still needs to come down here, even although we have a beautiful push to the upside. But you can see this is a very, very important one here. Look at that correction. We've not actually pushed above that 1.19 108. And so traders, if you are holding this obviously for a longer term, it looks like short term we might still be coming down a little bit. It looks like this is a very, very strong rejection that has taken place, this one here. So this was the start of the rejection, low, and failed to create a powerful lower high. But I think from a technical standpoint, we might still be coming down a little bit further before we resume the overall movement. Same with the NZD USD. We do know that from a New Zealand perspective, guys, it did fall to around 0.60, as you can see. investors are waiting for the Reserve Bank of New Zealand to have their meeting. The bank is expected to keep their rates at 2.25%. And what's important is markets now believe that rate hikes could come earlier than the central bank previously suggested. That means we're going to see some upside with the New Zealand dollars, which is great. Recent data also shows that weak spending and slower service growth has been seen, and the impact is pretty much simple. If the Reserve Bank of New Zealand sounds hawkish, New Zealand could rise. That's what we want, right? If you're looking for a buy. And obviously, if they're a bit more dovish or dovish, this sounds the alarm of cautiousness, and the New Zealand dollar could fall a little bit. When I say fall, guys, remember we do categorize them into periods: short, medium, long. So if it falls, falling short term, falling long term, that's not the case at this point in time. Let me actually do this. You can see at this point in time, long term is more of a uptrend that's forming here. If you look at the RSI, the strength of this price is actually being pushed up. So we're expecting a little bit more upside here actually for the New Zealand dollar to actually strengthen to about 0.70288. I would be talking long term now. We're talking monthly, weekly, and daily frames here. But short term, there could be another drop first. All right. So remember, all trends are not running the same, or at least time frames, because price fluctuates. You're going to find that on the shorter time frames we might be, pulling back, but on the higher time frames we're setting up to actually go higher. So it's important to take note of these little technicalities. All right. Also, the USD JPY, same here. The Nikkei is down. The TopX is down. Weak GDP raised a lot of concerns about Japan's growth strength. And if the domestic demand stays weak, the stock momentum may slow. Government stimulus in Japan could provide some support later. All right. And then lastly here this morning, just giving an overview really, the US stock market, let's look at the US futures in specificity, the NAS 100. It fell about 2.1%. It was really about the concerns about the heavy AI spending, the worries about the tech sector disruption, and the major stocks declined. And so now markets look to corporate earnings, economic data, and there's a lot of volatility that may increase once the US markets open tomorrow. So please be aware of that. If you look at the daily frame here, you can see we've not completed anything here really, guys. Last week's reports did not complete any move. It only assisted in the progress and development and printing of the movements, but nothing has been completed here yet. So gold, look at that, exactly the same. Euro USD, nothing has been completed yet. We're still consolidating. So it's a really flat start here this morning, but let's give it up, just to see how it moves, at least at 12 and 3 and 6 today. Obviously from a volume injection perspective, we're not expecting big volumes at all because two of the biggest economies are not participating today. The stock markets are closed. But tomorrow, make sure that you tune in, because we might just get some great movements after midnight, but today, obviously, the start of Tuesday. So it's going to be very interesting then to see what the US does when it comes back. All right. But that's it for the start of the week here, guys. 16th of Feb. I'm Ashley Reeve, guys, with the opening bell. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you'd like to open up an account with us, you can visit www.tdmarkets.com. You can also email us at care@tdmarkets.com. What a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in here. Once again, it is really a blessing. We'll see you guys, tomorrow with the opening bell. And obviously, don't forget the trading room at 2 o'clock. We're looking forward to it. That's me here this morning, Ashley Reeve, and I'm signing out. Ciao, ciao.